I'm here today with PFL Challenger Series Featherweight Brahyan Zurcher, who is fighting this Friday. Brian, man, how's it going?
It's going pretty good, man. It's been a long day doing a lot of interviews, but this is the last one, so I'm gonna enjoy it.
All right, man. Well, really appreciate you stopping by. And, like you said, we're in fight week. You're getting real close. Weigh-in day is tomorrow. So I guess we'll start there. I mean, how much more do you have to cut?
Not much. We've been doing my nutrition, right? I've been working with my nutritionist. Right now I think I have maybe like 6.5 pounds, 7 pounds to go. Nothing too crazy.
And I guess at this point, I mean, you're several fights into your career. Is it kind of going more smoothly than it did at the beginning?
Definitely, every fight camp I learn a little bit more about my body, what works and what doesn't. And this camp, especially this fight week, I've been able to eat more than other camps, and it's going pretty smooth. Just this last part is always the most annoying, not drinking much fluids this last day and reducing my portions, but overall it's going great.
That's good to hear. And they do call it the fight before the fight, of course. I mean, you've had a couple of fights with the PFL now. Obviously, back on the Challenger Series, there's a spot in the regular season on the line, that PFL contract. What would it mean to you to win the contract at this point of your career?
It will mean the world to me. I will feel very accomplished and very I'm already very proud of myself, but like winning this contract this Friday will make me very proud and happy, and that will show that everything that we've been doing throughout the years is paying off, and that we are doing everything right. Very
Absolutely.
excited.
Well, glad to hear it. And, you were a contract finalist last year. So did that kind of show you what you need to do to take that next step and land the deal?
Definitely, what I think they're looking for, of course, a win, and besides that, a finish. I wasn't very surprised that I didn't get the contract last year. What do you expect a guy with only 2 or 3 fights going into the season with fighters that have, the featherweight division is probably one of the most stacked weight classes in the world, not just PFL, but especially in PFL. You have these guys with 20, 28, some of them even 35s, So I wasn't very surprised, but I was very happy that I was one of the candidates to get the contract. But I don't know. Maybe even if I get a great performance this time, maybe they won't give me the contract because they still want me to grow a little bit more and get me ready for the next season. But of course, I'm going into the cage, give my everything, get a great performance, get a finish, and look for the contract.
I've asked this next question to a couple of Challenger Series fighters. I get a different answer every time. Knowing that so much is on the line, when you go into this looking for that great performance, like you said, do you go out and look to put on a show, or do you focus on getting the win and hope that the chips just kind of fall into place?
Every time I step into the cage, I'm always looking for a finish. Um, but that's something that I learned. I just go out there and do my job, and my job is win fights. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, and when if the finish comes, it comes. If not, like I said, I just go in there and win fights. That's my job. If I keep winning fights, everything else is gonna come into place at one point.
Well, the PFL definitely sees something in you. This is actually going to be your third PFL fight now. You fought in August. That one was basically a qualifier for the Challenger Series. So I'm just curious, first of all, what has that weight been like not fighting since August?
Uh it's not that bad, Was that maybe like 6 months? When I got that fight in the Madison Square Garden, I was expecting to have another more one more fight before the end of the year. So I jumped right back into camp. I'm a gym rat. I'm always training, trying to improve and get better. keep adding tools to the toolbox. Um, it wasn't that bad. I knew I was gonna be fighting as soon as the company were having fights, so I was already looking into March, April, and I took my time. Like I said, I was training, I was taking care of my diet, and I got a lot better in the time lapse of 6 months. So this performance is gonna be fire.
Good to hear. And just out of curiosity, since you mentioned, you thought maybe you would get one more last year, how does the contract situation work? Were you basically exclusive to PFL, or could you have fought outside if something had come up?
I'm not really aware of that, but that's something that I leave to my management and my coaches. Um, I'm pretty sure the company is been pretty good with me. I'm pretty sure if I had the opportunity to go and fight somewhere else and then come back to the promotion, they will let me. But I cannot say that 100%. And at this point, I'm very happy with the two fights last year, and maybe getting three fights this year with the company. I cannot ask for more.
Absolutely. Three fights or more, depending on how things go. And let's take a look at that fight. David Evans is on paper, your most experienced opponent to date. He's fought for Titan FC, he's fought for LFA. He had quite an amateur run as well. When you look at him as an opponent, what do you need to watch out for? What's your takeaways?
I mean, yeah, he's my most experienced opponent, but I train at Extreme Couture, and I get to train with some of the best fighters in the world every single day. We have fighters from all over the world coming in and out. So I believe, like I have seen every single style. I train with some of the best grapplers, strikers, and just great fighters overall. I feel like David Evans is nothing special. He, of course, is a good fighter. That's why he's co-headlining with me. But like nothing special. I faced Scotty Stockman last year. I believe he's a tougher opponent. He got better hands, better wrestling. Not underestimating David, but I feel like it's a good matchup for me. Nothing special.
When you play this fight through in your head, how do you see this playing out?
I see myself going out there. I know he's gonna rush. He's gonna come hard in the first round, but once he starts feeling my hands and my kicks, he's gonna turn into a grappler. He's gonna try to take me to the cage, but I'm gonna be bigger than him and stronger, and I don't think he's gonna be able to take me down. And if he does, he better watch his neck and his limbs. I see myself coming out with a win for sure.
And you said it right there. He'd better watch his neck. You're a jiu-jitsu brown belt, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
That's correct.
How did you come into the sport? Did BJJ bring you into MMA? Were you an MMA fan first?
No. Everything started with Muay Thai in Mexico. I'm from a little town in Mexico, Carretaderas in Bahía de Banderas, near to Puerto Vallarta. And my uncle, he had a extended and very successful Muay Thai career. That's kind of how I got into the sport. I had a couple of Muay Thai amateur fights first, and then I got introduced to Jiu-Jitsu, and then I kept fighting Muay Thai. I went to Thailand. I fought a couple of times over there, pro fights, and then that was my dream, to keep the steps of my uncle, become a world champion in Muay Thai. But obviously, as you know, there is not a lot of money, and I wanted to stay in. I wanted to have a fighting career, so I was like, this is not gonna make me a lot of money, and that's how I made my transition into MMA, and then I got to Las Vegas coming from Mexico. Did a lot of jiu-jitsu. I got promoted as a purple belt, and then I started training with Hector Vasquez in Cobreño Jiu-Jitsu. He gave me my brown belt, and yeah, it's been a journey. But I started training Muay Thai first before then Jiu-Jitsu.
Awesome story, man. And you're kind of following right now in the footsteps of some really big names in Mexican MMA. Obviously, Brandon Moreno picked up that UFC flyweight title. Alexa Grasso fights this Saturday. She's fighting for a title. When you look at that, how inspiring are those fighters to you?
It's crazy, you know. I get to train side to side with Brandon Moreno when he's in camp, and it's like you mentioned, it's very inspiring. You know, I see everything that they do, and then I look at myself and everything that I'm doing is nothing a lot different. You know, I'm just following the steps of these guys, and I want to do what they're doing for us. You know, I want to bring the eyes even more into Mexican mixed martial arts, and at one point, of course, be a world champion like they are. And yeah, it makes me very happy and excited to see myself on a place like that in the near future.
Well, looking forward to it. Looking forward to this fight. Obviously, this Friday night on Fubo, the PFL Challenger Series. I'm going to ask you one more before I let you go. I know you got the rest of this weight to cut. Don't want to keep you too long, but when you look at the rest of 2023, obviously the goal is win this fight, win the contract, but ideally, what do you want for your 2023?
The only answer I have is try to stay as much active as I can, try to get as many fights as I can, and keep getting the experience and the exposure and the knowledge. And if it's not this year in the season, 100% 2024, you will see me there.
Well, looking forward to that. And Delano Taylor last year won the contract on the Challenger Series, went to the final, so it's definitely doable. Brian, wish you the best of luck in the fight, man. Looking forward to it.
Most definitely, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if I get my contract this weekend and this year they call me the rookie of the year, you know. But yeah, most definitely. Thank you so much for the wishes and tune in on Friday. It's gonna be beautiful violence.
Absolutely, man. Rookie of the year. I love it. Best of luck again. Thanks again.
Thank you so much, brother. Take care.
You too.